Hollywood director, writer, and producer Ava DuVernay is back in the news. And of course, it is not for anything positive or good. She is implying that Elon Musk is a criminal, and she's doing this in order to try and, I guess, generate buzz for a movie that came out back in 2016 that was all about trying to create social division and sow chaos within the United States of America. Roll this up over at fandompulse.com. And Naomi producer Ava DuVernay attacks Elon Musk and implies he's a criminal. She did so during a speech or a interview, I guess, with this woman, Rosalie Verda, at the Marrakech Film Festival, according to Variety's Elsa Keslassi. And during that interview, DuVernay said that criminality is seen as completely different than a black kid on the corner who might sell marijuana. And so, the black kid is in prison for years and the criminals get reelected and make millions of dollars and sell electric cars. So she's clearly talking about Elon Musk there and the fact that he makes Tesla and sells Teslas and trying to imply that he is a criminal. What he has done, who even knows? She doesn't say. Because she's just clearly making stuff up off the top of her head because she's an absolute nutcase and has been doing this for years. She should be blacklisted from Hollywood for all of the absolute destruction and chaos she has sowed, whether it be with her movies, whether it be with her speeches, whether it be with her political activism, which we'll get to some of that here in a little bit. She then claimed the 13th documentary, which is on Netflix. They actually have it up on YouTube as well, the full feature. If you want to watch this, I don't recommend it. I don't think you should watch it. It clearly looks like propaganda to me, but you can. It's here on fandompulse.com, which you should become a subscriber to because we call out this stuff. We put a spotlight on this stuff. We oppose this stuff and we reject it. We are working to save our society and our culture from this woke madness that has taken over and is trying to lead us down this path of death and destruction. But anyways, she says that the documentary is about, quote, the idea of who is criminal and what and who is deciding who is right and who's wrong. So it's all about power and controlling the judicial system. It's not about actually determining right and wrong. It's about race identity politics and how that should determine what is right and wrong. I mean, this is literally what she's talking about here. Let's be real. But these comments are not surprising. Just back in 2020, she attacked Kyle Rittenhouse as a murderer, despite him being found not guilty of murder. Remember, she's trying to claim that the documentary is about the idea of who is criminal and what and who is deciding who is right and wrong. And then Kyle Rittenhouse, remember, 2016 is when it came out. She's saying this now in 2024. Kyle Rittenhouse is acquitted, found not guilty. And then what is she doing? She's still calling him a murderer. She probably didn't watch any of the trial. She probably didn't see any of the evidence. She didn't see that he clearly was defending himself. Didn't matter because it was all about power politics to her. And the people that were attacking Kyle Rittenhouse are the people that she is sympathetic with, the actual criminals, convicted pedophiles. And this is what she wrote. John Huber and Karen Bloom, parents of murderer Kyle Rittenhouse's victim, Anthony Huber. He's not a murderer. He was found not guilty. He defended himself bravely. He is an American hero, standing up against these violent criminals that were destroying, looting, burning down the city that he called home. The verdict sends the unacceptable message that armed civilians can show up in any town, incite violence, and then use the danger they have created to justify shooting people in the street. I mean, just complete and utter nonsense right here. Kyle Rittenhouse wasn't inciting violence. The violence was already happening. They were already burning down these cities throughout the United States, and he was there to defend the people that were being attacked by these violent, crazed looters and rioters. I mean, this is the gaslighting that people were doing even back then, just in 2021. Just absolute insane stuff. And she's still trying to do it right now, right? Like, she's still trying to push this insane idea here at this film festival. So, and then she also reposted race hustler Ibram S. Kendi, who said they are fighting to maintain white male supremacy, which is to say they are defending law and order. Defending law and order is defending white male supremacy, according to these absolute nut jobs. I mean, you literally cannot make this stuff up. They literally are racists. They hate white people, and they hate men. They hate white men too. I mean, they say it. They're saying this is posted. They posted this on Twitter, on X. Kendi went on and says, which is to say they are defending law and order, defending their America where white men can rule and brutalize without consequence. It's absolutely absurd, complete and total nonsense and false. But this is what these people believe because it's all about racial identity, politics, in order for them to gain power. And Ava DuVernay did indeed get significant amounts of power based off of the Black Lives Matter movement in 2020, where they used violence, the riots and everything to get what they wanted. It seems, fortunately, that her time in the sunlight has faded. The Naomi show is canceled. We'll get to this here. She's whining about her origin movie in an interview with Variety just last year and complaining that Oppenheimer is so much more successful than her film that no one even knows who it's about or who that person really is. And whining that the fact that the person who made the atom bomb is getting more attention than her small film, which again only made $4.9 million, but apparently had a budget of at least 38 million. And she got that money from the Ford Foundation, Melinda French Gates, Lauren Powell, Jobs, and Ann Wojcicki. So these are the major billionaire activists that are funding this absolute nonsense and the foundations that they run and are a part of. But you can see here, she's whining about Oppenheimer. It's challenging to watch a process film about a man making a bomb, referencing Nolan's latest film, Oppenheimer. That's the editor actually writing that in because she's so passive aggressive. She can't actually name things. She won't name Elon Musk. She's just the criminals are making cars, but the man making a bomb, it's so passive aggressive, so weak. He's a man who was trying to do something and couldn't quite describe it to anybody else, but he knew it. Isabel is a woman who knows something and can't quite describe it, but she knows it and she's going to find it. You'll sit through 3 hours of his process. Will you sit through 2 hours of her process? So she's literally whining that people were going to see Oppenheimer and weren't going to see her movie. And then we also had this. This is probably, I find this obviously all of these other posts are nasty and disgusting. This is pretty disgusting too. She wrote this: everyone has a right to their opinion, and we Black producers with hiring power have the right to not hire those who diminish us. So to the white men in this thread, if you can't get that job you were up for, kindly remember bias can go both ways. This is 2020 speaking. So this whole thread that Nicole French wrote here says that a Black film editor was asking for other Black editors. So basically they were literally discriminating based on skin color, based on race. And Ava DuVernay and a bunch of people were not happy that was happening and spoke up about that. And Ava DuVernay was like, well, if you don't like about it, well, I'm not going to hire you. And and she threatens that I'm going to discriminate against you based on your race too. So these people are absolutely vile. They outwardly speak about how they hate you based on your skin color. They talk about how they're going to discriminate you. They malign people they don't like based on their politics, based on their morals, in order to try to gain power so they can institute their immorality, their identity, racial, politic, hierarchical structure that they want to have in place. It's absolutely sick. It's absolutely disgusting, and it must be opposed. Unfortunately, I will say it looks like her power has faded significantly, but clearly she's still doing these interviews at these film festivals. She's still working within. She's still getting tens of millions of dollars from these billionaires. So she clearly still has lots of influence. We have to continue to work to make sure that influence is absolutely zero at the end of the day, because what she's promoting is evil, and we do not tolerate evil here at the Trent Report. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, and to always, always speak the truth.